5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, welcome to SAHDPod, where stay-at-home dads have miserable fucking lives. I'm your host. I got it wrong, didn't I? It's where we might be sads, but at least we aren't sad bastards. Joining me on tonight's show is Brett Roberts.
How's it going, eh?
We have Nick Figel.
Hey.
We would have had Christopher Burkhardt, but he has technical issues. We would have had Allin Kimbrough, but his wife got called into triage. And we are going to have Craig Levine. Can somebody just answer for Craig?
Hi, I'm Craig Levine. I like Powerballs.
I'm Craig Levine. I like Miller Lite.
I once had sex with a monkey.
I love Miller Lite.
Oh, the monkey loved it. All right. Thanks, Craig. Thanks for joining us. No, actually, Craig is off seeing to the air conditioning man. And if that doesn't sound as bad.
9:30.
Bump chicka wow wow.
I'm sorry. The watershed's over, man. The watershed's over. Yeah, Craig is out seeing to the air conditioning man, 1980s bum chicka wow wow style. And we hope that he'll be back later on to talk about poop. Now that is something, isn't it?
Now that his is packed.
Oh,
hang on a second. Hang on. Remember, we got to keep within our brief. Okay, so, but we didn't have Chris because Chris, what? Did he unplug and replug? I'm back to boom chicka wow wow, aren't I? Okay. Now that I can get this show back on the straight and narrow.
Oh,
we're supposed to be talking about potty training, and all we've talked about is double entendres. Okay, look, we hope to have Craig back soon, and as soon as he joins in and he listens to the show, he'll realize that we've just been taking the piss out of him. Anyway. Tonight's show has been through 3 topic changes. First, it was FML, but with the absence of Dan Scott, this week means that FML has been moved to next week. Second, it was going to be a curious look at kids' TV, or what the hell did I just watch? Now, that's a show that seems to be doomed because it was first scheduled this time last year, and it didn't make it. Anyway, the final one was Potty Time, the highs and lows of potty training. Yeah. Now there have been a few other poo topics floated. You see what I did there? Did you see what I did there?
I did.
I thought we dropped them.
dropped them into the deep end. But the reason that Potty Time won out is that my daughter has just learned to poop on her own. And it was a magical experience for the both of us. Anyway, I wanted to invite some of my fellow dads to 60 minutes of pee and poo jokes. And after all, pee and poo, it's basically what makes the world go round. So now, quickly, with a show of hands, in the absence of Craig Levine, who's seen to the air conditioning man, who is currently in the throes of potty training?
I am. With
okay,
my son.
let's start with Nick. Nick, you got potty training?
Yes.
Hang on, just a minute. I'm channeling my inner George Thorogood. Have you got the potty training blues?
Hell yes, I do. My son, I'm trying to get him potty trained, mainly because if he's not potty trained by his next school year, we'll say he goes to school in the mornings, he can't go because he needs to be potty trained. So I have a ticking time bomb to get it done so that I have that extra time with just one kid. So
he can't go if he can't go?
Okay, right. If he's still in diapers, he can't be in that class anymore.
Would that be a ticking dirty bomb?
Yeah, that works better.
That's definitely a dirty bomb.
Yeah.
Okay, and you are also age of kiddo. Just quickly.
He's about 2 years 7 months. So he's shy of 3.
What, he's about 2 years, 7 months. What, 3 days, 4 hours, 2 minutes? Okay. And what about you, Brett? You also are dealing with poo and pee?
I am on a daily
I'm not
basis.
just talking about your selfie. I'm also talking about your children.
Well, it's a good thing because I'm potty training, so it helps me when I'm potty training my own. I got one that's 4 years old that is potty trained, and I have one that's right now about 2.5 that we've attempted to, who was kind of going down the road and has completely recessed back to just wanting to poo and pee in her pants all day. So I found her one day sitting, playing with her toys in a pile of pee while her clothes were completely soaked.
Wow.
And she didn't even get up to even bother to tell us.
Really? Wow.
It reminds me of my college days.
I was just about to say it's preparing her for college. To change the subject a little bit, I knew a guy years ago when I was at student housing. He used to have parties with his friends, and they'd all sit around at Depends and just drink.
Oh, man.
That's disgusting.
It's called devolution, I believe. Anyway,
okay, hold on. I gotta stick on that one. There used to be a bar when I grew up that drink till you pee. So first person who went to the bathroom spoiled it for everybody. And so yeah, diapers were apparently something that was at use then too.
Wow.
and apparently in football games as well, where you can. Not a catheter. I mean, that's a bit extreme, but something that connects to you, John Thomas, to you, down your trouser leg and into a bladder at the bottom. But this has got nothing to do with potty training. Nothing. I wanted to say that my wife and I tried and failed initially. The truth is that my daughter was actually showing signs of wanting to potty train ages ago. But potty training doesn't just require the child to commit, it also requires the parents to commit, and we weren't ready to commit yet. Commitment. Now, we did one half-assed attempt. We actually had what they called one of these 3-day high-intensity training things. It sounds a bit like one of those US infomercial-type courses, but we sat down and we put her on the potty in pants, and my wife bought all the gadgets. She saw some YouTube video or something, and on the first day we were supposed to stay at home and remove all the carpets, and she had a watch and a star chart and everything. I mean, it was laid out like a master's thesis project. And the only thing that we got out of it was the word thesis, because we didn't get any feces and none certainly in the bucket. And after that, we kind of lost motivation. My daughter got sick, and we got sick of taking care of it, and we went to the dreaded pull-up, which sent mixed signals, and we went through hell for months and months, up until about 2 weeks ago, when my wife says, we've just got to rip the Band-Aid off, which in this case was ripping the nappy or the pull-up off, and my daughter kind of gets it now. I mean, in fact, she has Peppa Pig and Nemo underwear, just like her dad, and she doesn't want to pee in them, and she's kind of getting it, and I'm just so stoked about it that I wanted to talk about pee and poo. Hopefully it'll stick. Only time will tell. Now, that was the reason why I got driven to it. Basically, there's two things: financial, and obviously the fact that you just kind of get sick at changing shitty nappies. Nick, what drove you to the point of distraction? My daughter, I should state, my daughter is 2.5. So if we'd actually gone for it, 6 months ago or whatever, when we were originally, it would have been an early developer. Not as early as the Montessori 11-month-olds where they're walking around basically. I don't know if anybody, sorry, I hate to take over the podcast, but when we first looked at Montessori in daycare, they have a naked butt policy. And basically, the kids walk around like farm animals and just shit and piss everywhere.
Wow.
Wow, indeed. Now but they also have kids in the other room where they have assigned work clothing, kind of like a Russian concentration camp. So I'm assuming that they just take care of the, like the guys that walk behind the horses. Just with shovels. Anyway, I'm sorry. The bourbon's kicking in. Nick, what drove you to say that this is the right time for my son to to no longer be an animal and pee and poo in a plastic nappy?
Well, I did touch on it a little bit, that I still want to have him in class in the mornings, going forward the next school year, and he needs to be potty trained. So that's one main reason. Also, again, I can't stand, changing them all the time. And if I don't have to do that, at least for one of them, because I have my 8-month-old daughter that I still have to deal with, it'll cut down on all the diapers I'm changing, all the waste, and all the diapers I have to buy. So again, I would say financial and the garbage that we're putting out and that I have to keep piling up somewhere will help. But that's my main reasons.
That's true. You touched on the fact that your son can't go if you can't go, and also you're feeling a little bit green. Me personally, I'm feeling very green because we've already, when 1,000 years, not 1,000, more than that, when, a million years from now, and there's ancient, these future geologists are going through the the stratigraphy of the layers in the sediment, they're going to have this one very broad disposable nappy layer. And I want to contribute as little as I possibly can to that really fucking impervious layer of nappies. We did originally, but now we went to disposables, much to my chagrin. And that's one of the reasons. And just, I'm a cheap bastard. And Brett, I know you're a cheap bastard. What was the reason that drove you to say, okay, daughter, it is time for you to join the real world?
I fucking hate changing dirty diapers. Like, that's about as simple as it can get. I hate it. It's just disgusting. It's time consuming. I hate having to lug around diapers with me everywhere I go. It's just so much easier when they can go in the bathroom. And plus,
Who's this?
The AC man's gone. It's fixed.
Really? Did he
Are you
enjoy
tired
it?
now?
Whoa, hang on a second. Welcome back, Craig Levine. Was it as good for you as it was for the AC man?
Do you always sleep after sex?
Sit down.
Okay, welcome, Craig Levine. We're talking about potty training, and I think you're marginally potty trained, but since it's not your turn, sit down and wait.
And shut the fuck up. Yeah. No, I'm sick of changing dirty bums. It's expensive, and I don't like the environmental factor of it. So yeah, I just want them changed. It's not on my radar to keep them there, but my kid is the complete opposite and doesn't seem to give a shit. So we'll see how well this goes.
Now, you're also in the throes of potty training, or somewhat on the other end of it, aren't you, Mr. Levine?
Yes, I am. We are in just some nighttime pull-ups for our own safety.
When you say we, is that just the daughter, or is that the whole family? Fun for the whole family. Don't say it depends.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't need them. I say we because it
is we and it is poo.
Yeah, it's to make our life easier, because if she sleeps in and she has a little wee in the morning, I don't want to deal with it. Put it in a pull up.
But that's the curious thing. Okay, people say, I mean, some of you got older kids. Brett, you got older kids. Craig, you've got older kids, and they say that it's kind of like opening Pandora's box. Once your child learns to pee in the toilet or poo in the toilet, instead of your life revolving around like this commander kit of nappies or diapers, your entire life revolves around being within a certain radius of a toilet. Your entire life revolves around their bowel movements. Is that true?
It can. I mean, there's some tricks. I mean, when you're on the go, there's you want to go before you leave, you want to go before you go, you want to go before you come. All that applies. But there's a tip that my wife likes to do, and she likes to bring old tube socks with her to put on that nasty toilet seat at that public restroom.
Hang on, just a minute. Why is that?
Throw them away.
Why does that matter, though?
Well, I imagine it could be a nasty toilet seat. I personally have never employed that trick.
But how do you get them on and off? You have to touch the nasty toilet seat to put these things on and off, and then you have to put them back in the thing. That just seems even nastier.
Well, no. First of all, they're one-time use, and second of all, it would be the seats with the opening on them.
Okay.
So you guys are just slowly destroying the earth one sock at a time.
Socks.
They're already. I don't know.
He already destroys the world with socks, man. I mean, seriously.
I still have my sock from when I was 14, but that's another story.
Yeah. You're just scared that somebody's going to use the DNA from that for a murder trial.
One thing I have noticed though, I had to take my daughter to homophobic fillet a few weeks ago, and we went into the men's changing room, and somebody had literally left nuggets in the changing table. There was gold in them there, Hills, and the place stunk. I mean, it did remind me a lot of the what do they call the
chicken nuggets or
the chicken nuggets? they were I called them post-processed chicken nuggets. But we went in there, and I was so happy that my daughter was sitting on the potty because there was no way that we could actually use the changing table at the time. So there's definitely that sort of a benefit. But then again, the other day I was taking my daughter to daycare, and she yelled from the back of the seat, "I need to go potty." And when they say they need to go potty, I mean, it's not 5 minutes, it's not 10 minutes. It's like, I am about to piss my pants right now, stop the car. So, you know, there's an element of having a diaper there, or a nappy, or whatever your vernacular is, that you can just go, just shoot away. Let the stream flow. So, you know, I do have a feeling that you tend to be controlled by bowel movements one way or another, either in changing or in being in a radius. Okay, let's talk about negative experiences from potty training. And Craig, since you're finally back after doing the air conditioning man a solid, what can you tell me? What can you tell me about the negative experiences that you've had with potty training? Give me something that really.
Okay, so with the boys, I learned a lot of things that I could do differently this time. You know, if a kid has an accident in a car seat, that's a lot of work to clean up. Mm-hmm. So you know, I learned to put it like a trash bag or a Target bag or some sort of plastic down. Of course, the kid doesn't like that, and it doesn't instill trust that they've got this. But you know, just because it was so disgusting, you know, getting pee out of anything is never fun. This latest go around, she was really good at wanting to potty train, and she chose on 3 separate occasions to do it. The first 2, she had an accident each time separately and got really discouraged. And you know, it's got to be up to the kid, you know, to try and force potty training for anyone that's out there that's thinking they can just make it their idea. And you know, if you can pull that off, come teach me. But I think the kid's got to really want it. And so she had a couple accidents. She was just embarrassed, and she wanted the diaper back on. She didn't want to ever have an accident. The third time was fine, and she really did well. Now at school, she gets a healthy lunch, like an organic, well-balanced lunch, except on Fridays they bring in Papa John's. So
that'd give anybody the runs.
Well, that's exactly right. So the first Friday of Papa John's and potty training, we had, you know, 6 accidents. I mean, there was just constant accidents, and luckily there was 6 small ones instead of a large one. But
it's that grease.
it was something. But yeah, I've got. It could be a lot worse. I mean, you've got them where it's falling out the pants, and you know, you could. Oh, I have a fun one. at Soaring at Epcot, which many of us have visited, you're waiting for your next flight, and one of my sons just decided he couldn't hold it, and he peed a lot, and he made a puddle, and luckily he was wearing some sort of shorts that were like an Umbro, and they like remove underwear, remove socks, stash in corner, start over, and we did, and it wasn't so bad. It could really be bad. I didn't have it so bad.
Okay, well that's nice. But what about you, Brett? Did you have any holy F moments?
My oldest one was actually not too bad. She seemed to grab it pretty quick. We didn't have any real embarrassing moments or anything like that. My middle one now, when she was just starting, I told her to go sit on the potty and go pee. And she literally went and sat on the potty with the lid down and pissed all over it. And so I've learned I need to be a little more literal about opening the potty. My middle one seems to be the one with the troubles. One day, this is before even potty training her, she was standing in the kitchen. My wife was doing something, and she turned around, and my daughter had pulled her hand out of her dirty, shitty nappy, and had put it. And my daughter likes to suck her fingers. Well, guess where she put her fingers after having them down her dirty, shitty nappy? So so we've had a few of those good ones.
Pudding. That's called a pudding pop.
Oh, man, it was disgusting.
Now, hang on a second. That's a bad poo experience, but just a minute. That's a bad poo. That's not potty training. I know. I mean, look, I could talk about the one time my daughter dropped her pants and smeared shit around the room like she was doing some.
Yeah.
Like,
Picasso.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
have not had that yet.
I was going to say, is it Jackson Pollock? Jackson Pollock and Brown. But that's not potty training.
No, well, one of the best ones, I gotta say, it's not mine. One of my buddies had a kid, and when he was potty training, he used to take a dump every once in a while, and he knew he shouldn't be doing it, right? So one night, my buddy goes to open his closet doors in the kid's bedroom, and he's like, God, it smells like poo in here. So he kind of did a quick rummage through here, and he's like, yeah, I can't find nothing. Must be my nose. So about next night, he go in and like, man, it even smells worse. Something's in here. So he starts hauling everything out, can't find it. So he starts putting stuff back, and this book stinks. He opens it up. The kid had taken a dump in the book and closed it.
Put it in a book?
What book was it?
And hid it so his parents wouldn't find it.
Just a minute. What book was it?
I think it was the Donald Trump memoirs.
Of course.
Oh, so it actually improved it.
Yeah,
it did. That was the most intelligent thing in that whole book.
I was going to say.
I think somebody smeared that book.
They never noticed the smell of shit beforehand because it was just a Donald Trump book. I mean, they just expect. Anyway. Okay. But it's all it comes down to. But Nick, I'm not going to give you negative experiences. I'm going to say, look. Give me a mistake that you made. What's one of the mistakes you've made in potty training? I'm not going to. I mean, look, we know those other guys have made mistakes. Neither of them are particularly cluey. What mistakes have you made?
Well, I'm trying to. I was trying to reason with my son. Talk to him about you need to use the potty so we don't have to use the diapers, and he keeps complaining about butt rashes, and I'm like, well. If you don't use a diaper anymore, you don't have that shit stuck to you all day.
Well, can I just stop you there?
Yeah.
Is it a little bit like talking to the Trump electorate?
Yeah.
Trying to explain to them about global warming. Okay, go ahead. Okay. Please continue.
So I'm talking to him, and he's telling me that he has to poop, and I said, all right, well, you have to poop. Let's go to the potty. He's like, no, I'm okay right now. And then I asked him again. I said, are you sure you have to poop? He's like, no, I'm pooping right now. I said, what did we just get done talking about? And he's like, no, I'm not done yet. So what's the point of talking about the potty?
Is your son a silent pooper?
No,
what I mean is he? My daughter would always close the door and play on her own, which for us as parents is like the most fucking awesome thing that you can imagine, because it's like zero responsibility. Your child's playing, you know they're happy, and you're happy. But we knew the moment that happened, she was doing, she was pooing herself.
Mm-hmm.
Your son do the same thing? Does he close the door and go off and do his silent sneakies?
No. We've been giving him stuff to what's it called, like Miralax, because he's had a problem with not being able to go. Like when he was born, or early in life, he would go once a week, and so sometimes he'll sit there, his face will get red, he'll make grunting noises and bend over, arched over a table. Almost like you feel like he's just gonna rip the side of the table off with his hand by gripping it so hard. That's mostly how he does it, but occasionally if
he's going to have hemorrhoids before he's 3.
Yes, yeah. That's why we have to keep giving him this stuff to help it move along. And sometimes when it is able to move out, it's really soft, and he just kind of stands there and says, "Nope, still pooping."
Oh my goodness.
Well, yeah, you guys are juicing him up. It doesn't stop. He's like, I got a long intestines, Dad. I mean, come on.
Yeah, so
now,
I curse the day that we have to do that, because when I have to change it, it is some terrible shit.
Now, my daughter has pooed in the potty 3 times. The first time she did it for a reward, but I don't want to talk about that because we're going to talk about bribing later on. But last night, which was the third magical moment of pooing in the potty, she did this dump, and I threw it in the toilet, and she quite enjoyed the process of tossing the almost like a game, like 5 points, whoa, all net. And I said, okay, you're all done. We can go to bed now. No, Daddy, I have more. And I realized then that she became so fascinated with the idea of pooing. It was like the first time somebody played Donkey Kong or something. It was like the best game in the world. And she just sat there and she kept squeezing little bits out and then, high-fiving them into the toilet. Anybody else have a similar experience where the children they take to it because they just enjoy the process? I mean, we all enjoy pooing. Pooing is one of the best experiences of our lives, secondary to maybe drinking. But has anybody else come across their children they really enjoy the process?
Not if we're not talking about bribing.
Really? So you find that your kids your kids really try harder if there's a reward at the end of it?
Well, I mean,
okay. Let's stop it. Let's stop it there because we're going to get into bribing. Craig, what did you do right to get the first poo out of the hole?
So with the boys, they were in preschool, and
they were in preschool before they were pooing in the potty.
Well, yeah, because they were in preschool at like 5 months and a year and a half.
Oh, you're thinking daycare. Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
okay,
daycare. So we down here we do preschool. Daycare is just where they watch your kid. They actually teach them a little bit, colors and shapes and crap.
Apparently, poo in the toilet isn't something on their course load.
No, well,
that's advanced. That's 2.0.
Costco-sized M&Ms. I mean, there must have been 6,000 M&Ms in this bag. I bring into the school, and I'm like, all right, here's your rewards. Give them to all the kids. I don't care. I just want my kids to get potty trained. Literally every other kid in the class got potty trained but mine. I think maybe the teachers ate the M&Ms. I don't know. Everyone had M&Ms and everyone learned how to use the potty but my kids. The boys were almost 4 years old by the time they decided they wanted to, not shit their pants. And, the girl, Rebecca, she's been a pleasure. She had the first 2 accidents and they were bad, but then we didn't even need to go with the rewards. I like the tricks with the boys though. We would just put like a Cheerio in the toilet and let them pee and practice aiming, and try and hit the Cheerio in the toilet. I don't know if anyone's
Did they go in after it need it?
No.
That's good. That's good.
You know, there is a story that wouldn't show well to me, and my brother's not here to tell it, so I guess I should let the story die with him. But yeah, it was some story where I don't necessarily believe it, but they said I mistook some nuggets for raisins.
My brother ate a log his own off the floor when he was a baby.
It's a brotherly story. I think it's, I think because my brother's not here, I went ahead and kind of gave the connotation of the story for his legacy. So, it is bad.
There used to be a rhyme. What is it? Milk, lemonade, and round the back that chocolate's made.
Oh, just made.
Okay.
I do have a quick question for Craig real quick. Did you have any success between those little potties that are on the floor to the ones you clip into the seat?
I'm glad you brought that up. So currently we have the portable little ones that go on top of the seat with the little handles, and we took that on vacation. We just were on vacation for 9 nights and have a little potty seat will travel, and that worked great. And we have a few of those. Then we have one that kind of has this little ladder that goes up, and she's real self-sufficient with that. She can kind of get up there and turn around and do her own thing. Now, she's been sick all week with a virus, so I was going a little heavy with the pull-up just because she was sleeping in my bed a lot, and if she's half asleep, I didn't know. Turns out she had a perfect record. There really wasn't a problem, but we have one of those small potties that don't connect to a toilet in the master bedroom, and she would use that. She used it all week, and I couldn't come to taking her independence away and removing it yet, but it's on my list. It's on my shit list. So I need to remove that because that will avoid me from having a plastic bowl full of shit.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to empty it out.
Can you say shit for me one more time, please?
Just shit. I mean, it's just full of like this stinking viral shit. Like she had
the whole room smell like that.
She had 103 fever, and it was just this stinking viral shit. Now, you know how they can get finicky, right? So. Right now we could go. I'll talk about wiping for a moment. So you can let.
It's not the Craig Levine show, so hurry up.
Well, you can let them go at it on their own. But my point was, she got mad that I wiped her back, which was important in this case because it was poo, and she's like, no, I peed too, and she wanted something for the front, and she dropped it into the bucket, the little thing. Or I threw it in there. She got angry and she yanked it out and threw it across the room.
Oh,
yeah, that was just yesterday. So
did it hit the fan?
It was a bathroom. There was no fan, but it's just we're not out of the woods. We're probably. My wife reminded me that it's been largely on her when we're out of the house, and I've been getting off easy.
Okay, let's pass it over to Brett. Brett, are you still here after the Craig Levine show? Now, I was gonna say what things did you do right, but rather than that, I noticed in your house when we were visiting that you had a lot of various potties around the house of different sizes, which I found really fun after we went out drinking because it reduced the size of the hole of the toilet and made the game a lot more challenging. Do you have a large array of potty equipment to help train your daughter how to pee and poo?
We do. We have equipment. We have a potty on each floor because if one of them says I need to go, I don't want to have to run down to the main floor or whatever. If they're in the basement, I want one in each bathroom. So I have 3 potties in the house. So if they're close to one, if they need to go, we're always close to a potty. And then they also have a couple of those little seats that we take with us if we're out and about. And we even have a little folding one that unfolds like a little jigsaw puzzle. And you slap it down on the seat, and it keeps them up there. So those are our tools. And the one little potty I actually left just for you, because I know you Australians get screwed up. So I didn't know if you would be able to use the proper toilet, if you're going to be fully trained, you need a potty, or you Aussies are a little bit behind on time. So
well, hang on a second. You said that you had a something that you took out and about. Do you not mean oot and a boot?
Oot and boot? I don't know any Canadians that say that. I think it's just an American joke that just goes around. You guys believe anything. You guys elected Trump.
That's all the foosaboo.
Yeah. What's the foosaboo?
When Craig mentioned, though, the fact that he had these different apparatus, we've spent a small fortune on variety of potty equipment in this house. I mean, short of actually something that sucks it out, we have one that sings when you pee or poo into it. Which is really bad because it has no. I never realized little girls could project quite as far as they could without the front cup. You know what I mean? Because you need that little scoopy bit at the front that's going to catch the spray. And that one doesn't work very well, even though it says, "Hey, you pooed in the potty" by this nice little jingle. You've also peed all over the floor. We have one that's like a little beetle. We have a couple of packs that we take out that, like these erector kit type things that fold like Meccano or Transformers. And we have another couple that are, Mickey Mouse, because, nothing brings out the poo more than Mickey Mouse. But we've spent a small fortune on devices, and not all of them are effective. Now, have you done the similar thing, Nick? Have you spent and which ones can you say have actually worked best, or are you just in a total disarray for potty training right now?
Well, I have one that you can travel with. It has a little baggie and it folds out, so you can either stand it up with a bag underneath, or you can put it on top of a toilet. I also have one of the ones with handles, and it has the little Arm and Hammer little smelling thing you put in it or whatever. So I guess, I don't know, makes the air smell better, but that fits on the toilet. My son use that more than anything else that we have. And I also have one I got from IKEA for like $10 that sits on the floor and has a cup you can take out when he uses it. He doesn't use that or like that really at all. So I think the one that sits on the real toilet works best. And I was looking at those ones that are actually a whole toilet seat that has a middle section that you can fold down to make it a smaller hole. And I hear those work pretty good because you don't have to worry about having a seat floating around.
Do you think, though, that there is far too much investment in potty trains of so forth? Of potty apparatus and so forth, because everywhere I look, there's some. I mean, there are small flushing toilets. There are foldable, like I say, transformer type potty seats that also become a small child playset.
Well, has anyone dropped a kid in the toilet? I mean, you ever gone?
I was
you
scared.
Don't have anything, and you like spread them, kid, spread them wide.
Hover up here above this.
Yeah, I mean, I know I've been in the situation with no apparatus, and you just kind of got to get it done. But there might be some screaming, or it's like, oh no, don't touch that. I mean, that's a whole nother topic, right? Don't touch that at the public toilet.
Oh yeah. I mean, touching the floor and washing the hands over. And I actually have a little bit of a stomach bug today, and I do believe that it has something to do with the fact that 90% of the surfaces in my house are covered in poo. Brett, what was one of the things that you did right? We'll go back to the right question. What one of the things that you can say, damn, I really nailed it with that?
I think it was just timing that we saw that she wanted to. Like, we did the 3-day potty training thing, which fucking sucked, and it went horrible. Then literally like 2 weeks after we did that, and she went back into diapers. She just started going to the bathroom, and that was it. She never went back again. And like, I think it was just, we kind of hit that window at the right time, where I think with our second one, we were so busy with everything else going on, a new baby, that we missed that window a little bit, and now we're left with fucking shit everywhere.
Now the thing is,
well, does anyone think that girls are easy to train the boys, or like the time that they're ready, or is there any opinion?
I don't.
I hear that.
I've always. That's what I hear.
You've only got girls.
So.
None of us have the experience that you have, mate.
Yeah, because the boys were very defiant. They wanted to be, they wanted to shit their pants. They didn't want to be told what to do. They were just, they were terrorists when it came to that. You just, they're like us. We're men. They don't want to be told what to do. If they're happy shitting in their pants, then but that's it. But kind of like what Brett was just saying is that you catch them when they're ready, and it's a golden shower. It's perfect.
That's
rather
than going to porn references, when we're talking about our children.
That wasn't porn. That was just regular, like 50 Shades, right?
Wasn't that a Trump reference again?
Yeah.
Look,
orange porn.
Tang. I was thinking though that there is there's like a happy point when my daughter first started showing signs that she would be willing to go to the potty. She was more amiable to it as well. She was more open to it. She'd listen to us more. Now she's getting into that middle twos. She's getting into the kind of like the three-nager area where, it doesn't really matter what we say, it's wrong. So there's not just the fact that they don't just have to show interest in, maybe pooing and peeing. You also have to get them to the stage at which they're just not an awkward little shit, basically. And one of the things that we did right, I think one of the things that we really did right is just bite the bullet and do it. When I hear about the way the Montessori talks about it, I know I joke because they say that at 11 months they have the kids in panties or whatever the hell it is that they have.
I still don't believe that. That's crazy.
What do you mean it's crazy?
That's 11-month-old that's potty trained. That's just crazy.
You cannot do daycare in nappies at the Montessori school. It's 11 months, man.
They must have some serious accidents. I mean,
well, if you listen back to the podcast, you'll learn about what it was that we actually talked about and how they took care of it.
I'm sorry, but I'm going to be sleeping in a nice, cool house tonight. I apologize.
Oh, I'm sure you've worked up a sweat today.
I'm sure you'll be sleeping. Yeah.
Once you change those sheets.
She had the pull up on. We're good.
Okay, what stage are you, Nick? How close are you to like full all systems? Because there are stages of potty training. Obviously, the first one is the pee. You get through the pee stage, and then you go to the holy grail, which is the nuggets. Get the poos out. And if your daughter or son can poo, then there's the next step, which is the I want to rock and roll all night and party every day. The empty, the no need for pull-ups at night. Right. So where do you stand as far as that goes, Nick? Which one are you on? DEFCON 1, 2, or 3?
I'm still right at the beginning because it's really we get him to sit on the potty. I mean, we can really just get him to sit on the potty before he takes a bath and sometimes pee. Not always, but sometimes he'll pee in the potty. But that's really about it. I mean, some people talk about that, like Brett was talking about that 3-day thing. Like, does everybody have fucking tile in their house? Because I just put bamboo down. I just put bamboo floor down. There's no way I'm getting that shit fucked up.
I hear about the naked weekend, just leave them running around naked. I'm like, that sounds horrible. They're going to piss and shit all over my house.
Yeah.
Hey. Nick, have you tried so I used to shower with my boys and I would teach them to piss in the shower. I mean, that's normal. And
okay, George Costanza.
Who's your wife?
It's all drains. It's all drains.
It's all drains. It's as long as you are aiming for the middle, But
and don't tell the wife.
But you can take that to the next step and put the Cheerio in the toilet. Have you tried that, Nick? I mean, that I had a lot of success with that.
So you have them standing at all?
Well, they're boys, so yeah. Absolutely. Boys
dude, when you become a stay-at-home dad, you learn that sitting on the toilet is the only way to go because the clean's less.
No. You're giving.
Oh, come
them
on.
maturity,
No.
training.
I'm going to take potty training to the next level. How many of us have seen the post in stay-at-home dad forums that says the guys that sit on the toilet now because when you actually have to clean the toilet, you realize what a bad idea standing 3 feet away and aiming for the Death Star fucking hole.
You want to talk about man card? I mean, I don't have one, but
is it like hitting womp rats back when you were on Tatooine?
If I sit down to pee, take every man card I don't have away. I mean,
dude,
you're not going to sit down to pee.
Your house must be like freaking
the floor sticky.
I mean, I can tell you that like my son, he's there's a lot of books around the toilet, and I'm like, okay, you know, well, there's got to be urine on those books, but then he's got these glasses that he uses for
stuck together.
Well, he's got
that's my books. Those are my books.
Hey, does anybody want to go down to Craig's house with a blacklight kit and just check out his toilet?
At least the books you can just throw away instead of cleaning the floor.
It'd be like CSI fucking Miami.
My now 10-year-old takes off his glasses and he puts it on the floor like right in front of the toilet, and I'm like,
that's when he needs his glasses the most.
Yeah, I'm like, dude. He's sitting. This is when he's sitting to shit.
Does he put the glasses down and like use the force? Does he just like, Luke, you don't need your eyes?
I guess he doesn't need his glasses to read the books up close, you know. And he takes the glasses off and he puts them down. I'm like, you know, there's piss all over. He's like, no, there's not. I'm like, literally, I just peed in there, and I can tell you there is pee all over there. You know.
Okay,
they don't have this sanitary thing. I guess that's my point. Is children and this whole sanitary thing, they don't really get it or care.
You don't seem to get it or care. I mean,
I get the Lysol. Yeah,
I mean, we know that you need to urinate a lot because you drink Miller Lite.
It's true.
Okay, look, we're just talking about our piss jokes here, and I could go on forever. In fact, there's a story that I would really like to tell, but since I don't have another bourbon in front of me, I'm not going to. Brett.
Yes.
Where do you stand? DEFCON 1, 2, or 3? Where are you in achieving? Sorry, let's make it something better than that. Bronze, silver, or gold?
I got 1 gold. I have 1 bronze, and I have 1 who's getting a participation badge.
Participation? Is that the way they spell it in Canada?
Participation? Yeah. Well, she's only 3 months old, so I don't expect her to be potty trained. But yeah, I got 1 that will go if I like before she goes to bed or she wants to go outside. Say, okay, before you go outside, you have to go pee. So she'll pee in the potty. She's taken a couple dumps, but that's it. Most times she's still doing the old in the pants thing. So I'm kind of she's not, and she's sneaky poos. Like she doesn't have the stand and bum out or something like that. Some kids you can tell when they're pooing. She's got it down to an art where like she just looks like she's normal, and all of a sudden 2 seconds later she's walking with her legs wide out going poo poo. Like it's like, or she's bringing the diaper bag to me. It's like, okay, you little bastard, you know that you need to go because you're bringing the diaper bag. Just go to the bathroom. And you're just like, where do you go when you go poo? And sometimes she'll point your diaper and go, here. It's like, oh, you little.
There's the secret pooing. Like all my kids were secret. I could never tell. And then we heard someone was saying like Nick, you were saying you could tell when your guy's going. I mean, yeah. He's like the old man, you know, hanging over the counter.
Yeah, that's because he's about to have a hernia. Anyway, look, I've got to move the show on. We've only got 10 minutes left. This is only an hour show. Craig, how long did it take with Bex? Because where do you stand? Are you gold, silver, or bronze?
We're almost to gold, but with silvery gold. I think it's my own doing. Like I think we could probably get rid of the pull-ups, but we have so many, and she's the last kid, so for our own protection, we're using them. I can.
You should use the protection before.
Oh, but
So let me ask you guys. Do you guys get like the,
we've got 10 minutes left. We don't have time for you to ask questions for everybody.
Do you like the kid wakes up? They have to pee. They have to pee. Do they give you kickback and they don't want to pee, or a scenario where you absolutely know they have to, but they refuse, and then it's just a matter of moments, and then they're going to, or if you really are not in tune, you're going to be on your way somewhere, and they're in the car and they have to go.
I think you're misusing the word kickback. What you're thinking is pushback. Kickback is where you bribe a cop, and none of that sounds at all like a bribe. No,
just refusal. They refuse. They refuse, and my 9-year-old would refuse to pee in the morning, and I'm like, I know you have to pee. There's no doubt about it, and he would refuse and refuse and refuse.
Like father, like son.
Yeah, and then like 20 minutes later, I hear him like peeing for 4 minutes. I mean, it's just, I don't know.
Maybe he's just got the bladder of a horse.
I think they just like to defy us.
Okay, look. Skipping on. Strategies. Have you adopted a known strategy, Brett? I mean, we talked about the 3-day strategy, and all of us have talked about how it's basically bogus. Any other strategy, particularly? Any well-known strategy like Dr. Oz?
No, I think each kid's different. So I don't think it's a silver bullet for them. Honestly, I think you got to figure it out. Like, it's not, or maybe not a silver bullet, but a big brown bullet or something like that. It just doesn't happen. I think each kid's different. You got to take them. Some kids are easier with bribery. Some kids don't like to be dirty. Once they figured out they can, like, it's figuring out the kid and what's going to motivate them, I guess.
With Ellie, it was just Nemo panties. It was just Nemo.
Yes, they want to wear panties and they want to pick them out.
Does anybody read books? I mean, like Big Girl Panties? I have a book called Big Girl Panties, and Ellie is really taken to it. But the whole, I want to wear Nemo, I want to wear Peppa Pig, because she's getting to the stage where she wants to wear particular clothes. That's a big one. And I don't know if boys are like that. Do boys like, you say, hey, do you want to wear? Less. Yeah, they could care less or couldn't care less.
They both. They couldn't care less, and they. I don't know. The boys really, they're just nasty. Did you have an adopted strategy? With the boys, it was we tried like 12 times until we gave up, and they finally decided.
When they were like first grade and their friends were going, dude, it's about time you stop pissing your pants.
You were in size 10.
Hey, pissy pants.
I can tell you, a new strategy would be to feed your child Papa John's. And you can be sure they're going to poop a bunch, and that might be a strategy. It could work.
Okay, Nick. Moving on from moving on from strategies, because we don't have long left. Bribing your child. Did you do the bribe thing? We had a Dora the Explorer box up on the counter at Lego at Duplo. And we said to my daughter, if you poo in the potty, you get this. And it was up there like the carrot for 3 months. Do you do anything like that?
I have Matchbox cars. Like if I see them for $1 and stuff like that. So I get a bunch of those. And if I ever get him to use the potty, I give him one of those, at least for now, until I can figure something else. But
so what happens if he collects the whole set? Does he just go, hey, dude, I've got the whole set. I'll just shit my pants.
I'm just going to use my diaper. I don't care. I was sitting this shit all day.
Yeah. You start buying me real cars, asshole.
Dude, I want Hot Wheels. Did you say Hot Wheels or Matchbox?
Matchbox.
Yeah. Okay,
Matchbox.
Yeah, you can move on to Hot Wheels then. But do you read the potty stories? Do you like, hey, look, there's the little boy in the book, and he does the crap.
Oh
in
yeah,
the potty.
yeah. We read Toot, Toot Toot Toot. I'm a train. About that, and then it's just, the same writer has one called the Potty, so it's about this kid trying to figure out how to use the potty, and about diapers and how he gets to wear underwear now that he's done with the potty, but he just thinks it's funny, and that's it. It doesn't really help.
Well, I mean, look, when you're sitting there, he's going like, the train's taking a shit. What's this got to do with me, man? I mean, seriously, I watched so many different shows that are potty shows. Like there was a Peg and Cat episode where there was a big blue monster, and I'm like, it doesn't relate to me. That's a blue monster. And then you've got Daniel Tiger. Now, I must admit, the rhyme still sticks with me. Does anybody know the Daniel Tiger rhyme for potty training?
No.
I got the Elmo one down. But
let me do the Daniel Tiger, and then you can do the Elmo. If you need to go potty, stop and go right away. Flush and wash and be on your way. There's no pulling the pants up section to that because Daniel Tiger, he doesn't have any fucking pants. Okay, Elmo. What's the Elmo one?
Elmo, there's a certain line that just sticks with me. It's accidents happen. That's what they're for. Accidents happen.
No, it's what they say.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you heard the unedited version of that?
Every
Accidents
night
happen, and you'll get a beating some more.
They really focus on accidents, and I'm like, I don't know if this is the message I want.
My daughter, it wasn't an accident. She'd like stand there and just piss and go, it's got a pee-pee on the floor.
Right.
And I go, was it an accident? She no, I knew what I was doing. I was pee-peeing on the floor.
Now you clean it up.
Yeah, so Craig, that accident happens song would be great when you start talking about your kids, eh? You start looking at your kids, accidents happen.
yes. Well, I'll save that for my boys to sing to each other, to rib each other, the brotherly love.
Yeah, you're all you kids are all accidents. Elmo should have did a condom song and not a toilet song.
Duralast.
Oh, poor Elmo. How do you get Elmo to stop speaking in third person? I think that's the next stage. Oh,
he's a red furry monster with a hand up his ass. Why is he teaching potty training?
He's already got somebody to pull it out. Is that what you're trying to get at?
I mean, it's just
It's like built-in enema.
I mean, they should have gone with Big Bird because everyone knows birds shit. I mean, come on.
Look, next
they can control it.
I had something else to say about potty training, and the vision of Elmo with a hand up his ass kind of threw it for me. So when it all comes down, this is actually what I was going to say. When it all comes down, people talk about the 3-day method. They talk about bribing. You see it over and over. Do you really think that it's just a random act, or you can actually control when your child does the doo-doo? Right?
I think you have some control, not very much. I think it's not about you controlling it. It's about seeing the window when they're interested and jumping on it and getting them interested in doing it at that point. I think it's like all these different methods are just like diets, right? They come and go on fads. You're going to buy the book and buy all the shit that goes with it. It's all crap, no pun intended. And I think it's the old, you just get them when they're interested, get them sitting on the potty, give them some rewards. Hey, everybody's good. I don't think there's any, matter what.
The kids got to want it. I mean,
you want it? Like in the NFL dream or something?
With my boys, I tried every method. I tried the naked. I tried the M&Ms. I tried, this. I tried that. And if they just got to want it. And I think girls want to be potty trained sooner. They're a little bit more in tune with what their classmates are doing, or if everyone else is getting potty trained. The boys could give a shit. And I mean that
couldn't
literally.
give a shit. Couldn't give a shit. Look, if you're gonna get that, right. Anyway,
I would agree with what everyone's saying about they just need to want to do it.
So what you're saying that what we have just spent the last hour telling everybody who's tuned in and maybe says, "Oh, I'll learn something about potty training tonight." Basically, yeah, good luck with that. Except we
can recap. Put a plastic bag in the car seat the first day you go without diapers. And I think that's the single most important thing. Don't piss on the car seat and everything's fine, right?
Well, they have the zip-off car seats now. You can take a whole thing apart and throw it in the washing machine.
Well, yeah, but
have you ever tried doing that, dude? It's a freaking nightmare.
It is.
Right. So the garbage bag is a good idea. It did not work with my daughter because she was just too independent. She wouldn't have that crutch, but she never peed in her car seat. We're still good to this day. The boys, oh man, they They just really didn't care less, because I can't say could give a shit.
Couldn't care
give a
less.
shit.
Couldn't give a shit. Couldn't care less.
They were horrible. They were the worst. I swear they were 4 years old.
Now the sad thing about that is that you say that they got to want it. Okay, so you're saying that neither of your children are going to make their NFL dreams because you've got to want it. And if they've shown such lack of interest in potty training early on, you can just can imagine that they're never going to really excel at sports.
Well, yeah, my kids are the non-sporting type. You've met them. They don't sport.
So if there'd been a video game about potty training, your boys probably would have taken to it like a duck to water.
You know what? I am not a video game, but that emoticon thing has gotten really popular.
The brown shit.
Yes,
brown Christmas cake?
I am currently holding a blanket that says my son's name Max, and it's full of the little brown turd emoticon. The entire fucking black blanket is like 150 brown turds, and we got the pillow to match, and he took it to camp, and it's cool. I mean, the brown turd emoticon sells.
But that has nothing.
Toys.
Okay, before we start going off on just random shit related shit.
I'm cuddling with this blanket right now. It got cold in here with the AC being fixed.
Okay, look, we've already gone over an hour in our live show. What I can tell you in recapping our show is that Craig and the air conditioning man are really, really close. There is no set method for potty training. I'm really, really happy that my daughter's doing a potty training now, and we do get accidents at school and things like that, but on the whole, shit's pretty good. And I would like to thank my guests for joining me tonight, Mr. Brett Roberts.
I'm very happy to be on the Craig Levine show.
Mr. Nick Figel.
All right, thank you.
That's very dour. Okay. And Mr. Craig Levine.
Shit.
And for not being able to join us tonight, can somebody please answer for Mr. Christopher Burkhardt?
Silence. My mic doesn't.
Thanks, Chris. Okay, well, that wraps up tonight's show. And follow us on Twitter at SAHDPod, like our Facebook group, and subscribe to us via iTunes. Don't forget to give us a gushing review. And you may notice some changes coming up on SAHDPod. We're currently in the process of trying to get a logo. We got a really awesome one from Fiverr just recently. Yeah. And if you check out our Twitter, you'll see it.
Potty, here's a logo.
The fact that those were legs and shorts that Zav noticed, I didn't quite notice. I'm like, oh my god, those really are legs and shorts.
And if you don't understand what we're talking about, the picture is up on Twitter. It's basically says what you can get for $15, which is a bunch of really shitty clip art and a dude that looks like a crab. Anyway,
special crabs.
Yeah.
Special thanks to Micah and Me for the use of Super Daddy Fun Day, and everybody once again have a Super Daddy Fun Day.
It's just another ordinary typical day. Me and my daddy gonna go out and play. I hope my baby sister doesn't get in the way.